What's up, everyone? It's your favorite producer, PJ, from the OK Podcast, and I'd like to tell you about a veteran fundraiser that is more than just OK. The Strength Co. will be hosting the 3rd annual Turkey Pull fundraiser for the Simplify in America's Fund on November 16th, 2024. That's November 16th, 2024. Don't go run a 5K this Thanksgiving. Come do some deadlifts and raise some money for this important organization that supports active military, veterans, and their families. You can come to this event in person, or you can join us online, and all proceeds go to the Simplify in America's Fund. Click on the link in the description and sign up today. We'll see you there.
All right, and welcome back to episode 044 of the OK Podcast, powered by the Strength Co. We're in prime time. If you're not watching us on YouTube, I have my Deion Sanders, Coach Prime glasses on. Oof. I got my hat. That's what we call them here in the upstate of South Carolina. Yeehaw. Where we're recording from. Today's date, is October the 29th in the year of our Lord 2024. There are only 31 days in October. We just want to clear that up from last week. And the price of Bitcoin, of note, is $72,170. And for you homeschool nerds, that means that, hang on, quick math in public, that means that we are up 62.5% since episode 1 of the OK Podcast. So started the year at like 42 and some change. We're now at 74, or 72. I mean, you can't afford not to keep making this podcast. We're still powered by the Strength Co. We're sponsored by our friends here in the upstate of South Carolina as well. BW Tax. Good dude, better at taxes.
That's what we always say.
Happy to be here. We've said that since episode 1. It's what we've always said. I got my Bitcoin grenade here. Shout out Zach Copley. I got my Bitcoin block clock. Shout out Block Clock, and as well as Zach Copley. And so welcome to the
Okay
Guidons
Okay
Podcast. Happy to be here. We got Mr. Jeff Biggie, also known as Rudolph the Red-Nosed Biggie. Got to get an artillery update. The man got some sun. Again, if you're not watching on YouTube, go check it out. We got
follow me for all my beauty care, my skincare tips.
Yeah, we got the Logistician, best Logistician I ever served with. Captain Trey Gottlich.
Oh, jeez.
Coming here from Frisco, Texas. And we got a special guest tonight. I want to say potentially the biggest guest, maybe not the tallest. We'll have to cover that later with former guest Nolan Hickey. I can't remember who wins that contest, but maybe the biggest guest.
Yeah.
I think Nolan in height, but our guest in stature.
In personality.
In personality, yeah. But
actually, I don't know. Both got big personalities.
That was a low blow right there. So special guest tonight. We'll let him in here shortly, but can you go ahead and take me through the plan of actions and movements? Or
okay, all right. If you just gentlemen, pull up the slide deck. We're going to start on slide 4. Looking at
the first 3 we made for no reason.
Line 33. That's 3-3 for you artillerymen.
Bingo.
Got the trash. Have we settled on trash? Gottlich, that's for you for action. Are we making this green, yellow, or red? So,
and then the person's like, no real updates to that. We're still waiting on some info. And then who's ever driving goes, okay, I'm going to go ahead and mark that completed and make it green. And you guys just finish it offline. So Marine Corps planning is in good spirits.
Always good time.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Where are we starting?
No, that was it. That was the episode.
Oh,
great work, everyone. BW Tax
as a dad, I get it. Get busy.
Oh man. How was college football? Anything of note? I didn't see any of it, so I have no points.
Oh, we're getting right into the bread and butter, huh? I like it.
Gonna get into it, man. A&M had a big game.
Yeah, I don't even
remember how
you guys won. Yeah, I did watch your game. Who remind me? Sorry,
LSU.
LSU? Yeah, LSU.
Yeah,
I did watch that
Tigers.
one. Yeah, they gave you a little run, and then you kind of put them away there at the end, right?
Yeah, first half was a little bit slow. We put in a new quarterback in second half. Looked a lot better. So.
Yeah.
So a little controversy.
Big game this weekend. South Carolina's coming off not a loss, which is tough to do against tall grass.
Won that bye.
Williams-Brice is going to be rocking and rolling.
Already sold out, right?
Yeah. So not to make you not feel special, but like that sold out graphic is like before every Gamecock game. It's kind of like,
cool. Yeah. It's
kind
like,
of what's cool about the Gamecocks. It's like, it's Old Dominion and we're sold out. It's like, well, like, aren't we just always sold out? But yeah,
that's true. How big is that stadium?
Earlier. 88.6.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah. In South Carolina, we just call that church.
We had
102.
LSU. They had 100, almost 109,000.
Whoa.
Okay, what's the seats?
Like just the seats?
Yeah, what's average?
Well, so South Carolina, I think is 88.2.
But if you're packing it in
with standing room, we do like just over 90, something like that.
I want to say it's over 100, like maybe 101, 102.
Okay, yeah, that's big. I mean, there's a lot of 12th men running around.
I know.
Got to make room for them.
Got to make room, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. You got a prediction? You want to go into it right now?
Ooh, boy.
For this game?
Yeah. Are you feeling nervous?
Oh, very much so.
Yeah, I would too. Not because I'm just a diehard Gamecock fan. The problem with the Gamecocks right now is they're good enough that you're like, yep, we can beat this team. Like I feel every week I'm like, yep, we could potentially beat this team. But then they're bad enough where it's like, if you lose, you're like, yep, we're not that great. So it's like, I'm like not nervous. I'm like, we have a chance for a big win. But yeah,
it's I don't know. So I'm taking the under. I think it was like 42, 44 points. I think your defense, I think you're like number 2 in rush defense.
Yeah.
And then like number 6 in pass defense. So super solid defense. I'll be curious about Sellers. I'm going to go, I'm taking A&M.
Okay.
But it's like maybe by 3 or 4 points, like nothing big. Like 24, 20, something like that. 24, 21.
Right. Okay. Jeff?
Oof.
Put you on the hot seat since you already all ran.
Let's see. I hope they both win. Let's just, I think South Carolina's going to win. I think
that's what
I think that game environment.
It's like a church service.
I think it close game. Let's say 31-28.
Okay.
Yeah, I kind of like almost like that. I think the way the game's going to go is I think A&M's going to go up like 17-0.
Ooh. Okay.
And it's going to be like something like that. Maybe it's 14, maybe it's 13, right? But it's going to go up and like you're going to be a Gamecock fan like early in the second half or second quarter and be like, oh, man, like what? And then I think they'll storm back early in the third. It'll be like 24-21 Gamecocks. And then it'll be a slugfest to the end. And it'll be like like the refs will get involved, as is something tradition. Will happen. But yeah, I don't know. I think Jeff's score is kind of correct because, I think the thing with South Carolina with that D line is like, it's not just that they're good, like at rush defense, but like they'll just like strip the ball and score. Yeah. And so like all of a sudden, they'll score a couple TDs. So I don't know. I do think the game, I don't think we're going to win out. I do think we got a good shot. I think we win by like 3 or 4.
Okay, so you're picking. I was about to say.
I'm picking
the
longest
non-answer. Okay.
I think
the game is going to end at some point, and there's going to be a victor, and
there'll be a victor. Yeah. So Gamecocks. So I'm saying Gamecocks. Trey saying, which I said loss earlier on in the year. But
I think you did.
Now I'm saying
you switched it up.
I'm switching it up. The team's improving. My morale's improving.
Okay.
And you have the Isabella effect.
Yeah.
She's never seen a bad South Carolina team.
She's never seen a Gamecock loss.
Ushering in a new era.
Yeah. So
she's 1-0.
The chosen one, bringing us out of mediocrity, is finally here. So the Isabella effect's in effect. I haven't turned her on for Boston teams. I've won so much there. I'm kind of tired of it. So I put all of her efforts to the Gamecocks. So
I was about to say,
no one knows. No one knows.
She don't have a Celtics effect.
Yeah. I mean, I think she already is.
Didn't that dude sound like a franchise? Yeah, that guy. Some guys had a franchise record on threes.
Yeah.
Oh, geez.
They're balling. They're balling out,
dude. Undefeated.
I have a feeling with our guest, we're going to get into some nitty gritty college football. So before we get to the most exciting team in sports, the Citadel, why don't we just do a little quick training update from everybody, and then we'll let the guest in here, and then we'll carry on with the slides. So Jeff, we know you've been out training. You don't have to go into all your artillery training, but you have been gone. So
been gone.
How do you manage that when you're in the gym, 4 days a week usually?
Usually 4 or 5.
More, maybe 4 or 5. You don't miss, right? You do a little hit, you do a little run, do a little low and slow.
Oh yeah.
But then
low and slow.
The Marine Corps is like, I need you for 6 days. What do you do when you come back? Your wife's been super happy that you've been gone and not texting her or talking to her for 5 days. The first thing they always want to hear is, "Hey, I haven't seen you in a week. I'm going to the gym." So what's your strategy there?
So let's see. I got out there a couple days early before the rest of the battery did. So, and I've been kind of progressing on deadlift because may or may not be targeting the turkey pole. Sponsored by the Strength Co. Fun little event. So trying to maybe pull a big single there. So wanted to hit a deadlift session. We were going out to the field Friday morning. So I was like, okay, Wednesday night.
Farmers fight.
I wanted to get a deadlift session in. So just worked up to, I don't know, a medium set of 5.
What'd you hit?
100,
I think
500.
for that one.
Oh, that's a medium set of 500.
Oh yeah, medium set of 500, real easy. No, I think I hit 3. I did 345 for 5, and I was like, okay, I just wanted to hit something. And then today, thankfully, my wife did want to go to the gym today. We were both off work, so she was like, "Hey, we're going to the gym," and I said, "I love that idea." So wanted to hit something heavier than the previous one to try to get back on track for working up to my heavier sets of 5. So I worked up to 365 for 5 today. It felt good.
Okay. When was the last time you pulled a heavy single?
Long time, maybe 5-6 years.
But you are gonna do the turkey pull.
Yes.
You're gonna okay. Yeah. So what do you Are you hoping? I assume in the 4s.
Mid-4s.
If you're doing 365 for 5, mid-4s.
Mid-4s, yeah. Because before leaving for the field, my last deadlifts, heavier deadlift session was 385 for 5. So I think I want to hit something mid-4s.
Right. Yeah. 455. Boom, all day. If you don't know, the turkey pull is a little fundraiser we do for Simplifying America's Fun. It's in person there in Orange County, California. Big Connor King will be running that thing this year. I think we have about 40. I got to say 45 because 45 is a good number if you sell plates for a living. I think about 45 in-person people right now. If you're in Southern California and listen to this, or if you're within a couple drive and you've never done a meet, this is the best meet to start with because it's not even a meet. It's more just people hanging out. It's outdoors. It's in California in November. The weather is beautiful. Talk all the crap you want about California, but then go there in the winter and you'll be like, this is literally what God had in mind when he created winter. So go check that out. We serve tamales at the end. If you want to participate online, you can go online, strength.co, click apparel. First item there's turkey pulls, $35. You get a t-shirt. Proceeds go to Simplifying America's Fund, and you get entered to win some plates. So you just got Jeff's real active on the TikToks and everything.
Oh my gosh,
and so
dude.
he just posts his deadlift on Instagram. You use a little hashtag turkey pull, and we'll enter you to win some different stuff we're giving away. So you can go support a good organization, make yourself do something hard that you don't usually do, especially as a bunch of old men like us. You don't want to be pulling heavy deadlift singles all the time without a reason. And check it out. So the turkey pull. All right, Trey, training update. Come on. You got at least one in. I know you did.
I got some sick kids this past week, man.
That's true. You did have some sick kids. So it's been a while.
About the same as last week. Yeah.
Okay. Hey, you know what I always say? The best.
I guess we don't read the slide deck anymore, huh?
Yeah.
Hey, you're hitting dad PRs. You're hitting dad PRs.
Yeah. Best time to go to the gym was 10 weeks ago. Second best time is tomorrow. That's what I've always said.
You go.
So, backing this out. No, it is a lot harder. I went last night, but it is like, nobody's sleeping a whole bunch. And then, the wife's not in a position to go to the gym. And so then you kind of feel selfish when you're like, I'm going to the gym. But at the same time, it's just like, well, I'm going to feel worse if I don't go. But it is harder. So I've gone like at least every third day. Good band, by the way. Christian band too. Just really rocked it in third day. Yeah. Yeah. And you know any third day songs?
No,
really? No third, Jeff?
I don't know. No, don't know it.
Up until this point, I didn't know that was a band. Yeah.
Wait, really? Okay. So it was like, I hate to say the Christian version of Creed because nothing's more Christian than Creed. All right. Let me see. You've never heard of Third Day?
No.
Okay. Wow. Okay. I'll start with this one.
That was Slide album.
God of Wonders Beyond Our Galaxy. You don't know this? Dude, this is like the ultimate youth group music right here.
I hear a little bit of Creed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you're going to love it, Trey.
Like a little bit of like Pearl Jam. Yeah.
Pearl Jam.
Yeah. It's more like
Vedder.
Pearl Jam. That's right. It's more like Pearl Jam. Anyway, Third Day. But yeah, I've been going every third day, and then. But you're always so last night I went.
I love that weave. That was a good weave.
Yeah. Thanks. My nephew came in from Athens. Go Dogs.
Go Dogs.
And to see the baby. And it was like right when I was going to go to the gym, but it was much better to see him. So then he came and then he left. And then I was like, I need to go to the gym. I just been like pounding so much coffee. And so my mom was here and Diana fed the baby. I'm like, you hold the baby. I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to pick up dinner. So I like run to the gym and I've just had like so much coffee and so little sleep. I like get to the gym and we got the new bumpers. I had like built, the guy had bought a bunch of plates and we built that gym out. And so I'm kind of like fired up, like, all right, I'm going to train, but I'm like half asleep. By the time I get to the gym, I'm like, I'm ready. And I pull the bar out and I go to load the first 45 and I'm like, I'm going to puke. Like I'm 100% going to puke and I have not done anything. And so there's like two other guys in the gym, with like elastic bands, like tied around their ankles, like doing weird stuff. And so, but there's like all these nice bathrooms. So I go to the bathroom and then I like go to turn on the sink because I'm like, I'm totally going to puke. So I got to turn on the sink and then I flush the toilet and then I'm just like, Bleh! And I just wait and I'm like, Bleh! And I
feel better
more. Hit it with my third set. And I was like, I feel great. And I flush the toilet again and I look in the mirror and there's like tears coming down my face. My eyes are all bloodshot. And I'm like, all right, there's no paper towels. So I'm like, well, there's a towel rack like right outside. I'll walk outside. I'll get the towel rack and no one will know anything. I walk out and the two guys are both looking at me like, and so then I was like, well, now I have to do something cool. So I went and pulled a single at 5:45 and I was like, yeah. So
coffee puke.
Yeah, coffee puke. Just get them grind. That's what you get for drinking Nespresso. You know what I'm saying? Ooh. It's the consistency's off.
Pound an espresso.
No, Nespresso. The little makers. Yeah.
Oh, the George Clooney's.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Danny DeVito.
What does that mean?
Danny DeVito. The George Clooney. He's on the commercial.
Oh, I thought he just ate Jersey Mike's, a sub above.
Yeah.
That's Danny DeVito.
Danny DeVito also was in the commercials also, I think.
Yeah. At one point in time he was, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
But
all right. Anyway. Yeah. So that's my training update. So I only deadlifted. It took me 30 minutes and then I went home. And it felt great. And then I was like, I'll go today. And then I didn't go today. So I'll go tomorrow.
There you go.
Yeah. Gotta get a little something in.
Dad strength.
There it is, man.
Yeah. Dad strength. Also, well, I'll quick say the bumpers, not that bad. I don't train with bumpers.
Is it the new ones?
Yeah. The new ones are way better.
Look nice.
Yeah, they're thinner. They're nice. Yeah, a lot thinner. So, like for example, they're 2.4 inches. No, 2.3. And
or the old ones.
the old ones were 3.1. But for example, the new 45s are thinner than the 25s, barely, but they're thinner than the 25s by what would you say, a tenth of an inch?
Sure.
0.1. Yeah, so a tenth of an inch. So it was actually funny because I've never pulled 585. I've missed it a bunch. 575 is my best, but I had, 5 45s on each side and then a 25, but it looked like another 45. And so I got a lot of comments like, "Oh, you finally hit 585," and I was like, "Sure."
No, I will neither confirm nor deny.
Just threw up and deadlifted. Good 3 sets, but they're nice. Nice setup, a little less bouncy, a little quieter. I mean, there's nothing as good as the clang and the bang, but it's nice.
What makes them less bouncy? Just because they're thinner, or what?
So it's the crumb rubber, recycled crumb rubber, and urethane is the style we do. And so like you've seen crumb rubber, like in a lot of CrossFit gyms, most of them don't have the urethane bonding. And so those are the ones that like chip and flake and all that stuff. Yeah. So these have a urethane bonding. So they're solid. They don't tear up, but in order to get to 45 pounds, you need a lot of crumb rubber. And so they're wide. And so these mixed with buckshot. So you take the crumb rubber, you put a bunch of buckshot in it, and then you mix it up, and then now it's more dense.
Yeah.
And so it's more dense and it's less rubber because more buckshot. So science, the durometer, it's called the durometer factor. I say durometer,
the hardness.
You say durometer, And so that number's higher, so they're less bouncy. But the nice thing is you could load 585 because sometimes, and not very often, but when I would go to our gym at Blockhaven, I'll be like, all right, I'm going to power clean a little bit. So I'll power clean. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to deadlift. But then you get locked out at 405. So the difference is instead of being able to go 405, you could now go to 585. So 2 more plates on the bar.
Love how you're just having your little personal gyms, LA Fitness, just spread out all over Greenville.
It's great. It's great. So no matter where I am, I can just stop and use the equipment. So it's fantastic.
Get one of Yeehaws. Yeah, you'll be all set.
That'd be great. Yeah, go in and watch a game and just deadlift while you're at Yeehaw. Yeah. Can I get a 3-piece chicken nugget and 405 in the bar, please? All right.
Potential sponsor.
Yeah. Potential sponsor. Yeehaw.
Yeehaw.
All right. Well, good training update. Should we get the guest in here?
Let's get the guest in here.
What's taking so long? Oh, look at this guy.
Oh, look at him.
Oh,
he's so beautiful.
You know what? I'm a little nervous.
Look at all those degrees in the back.
Oh my God.
Wait, you said you're nervous?
That's the only. Well, they say to never meet your heroes, and here I am, right?
You're crazy. You're crazy.
So it's almost like you can tell we're all Marines because we're sitting in rooms with white walls behind us and different like Marine Corps plaques that some gunny was making a living off on the side. And the first sergeant's like, "Oh, Captain Bowers is getting out. Oh, here's an American flag with his name on it."
Yeah.
They're not all gunnies.
Yeah.
Some of the plaque OICs are lieutenants.
Yeah.
Like this one up here.
Oh, we can't see it. It's off camera.
Made by me, baby. Look at that.
What is HIMAR?
Hey.
What is HIMAR?
Oh, man.
That's good.
Well, welcome to the OK Podcast. Donnie Bowers, you're out of the Marine Corps, right?
Yes, I am. Yeah, 2 years ago.
So we'll get into that later. We have found in the past, we have guests on. We asked about the Marine Corps career and everyone stops listening except for my mom, like 5 minutes in. So we're just going to come out like hitting and then maybe we'll get back to the Marine Corps. But I have a question direct from our sponsor, BW Tax. Ooh. Big fan of the Veer. And he's like, just ask him about Paul Johnson. And so when I say that, what comes to mind?
I could go on for days about Coach Johnson. So he was the coach that recruited me. I was under his tenure for my freshman year, 2007. That was actually the year that we ended that 43-year losing streak to Notre Dame. Good year. If you can take yourself back to 2007, that was the year that Charlie Weiss had taken over the program, and he was unfortunately starting to run Notre Dame into the ground. we're riding an ultimate high. Yeah, right. Neither did I. Yeah. We got to win 3 of the 4 years that we were there. So, cheers to Charlie Weiss on that one. But we had just beaten Notre Dame. The team was on an ultimate high. Come out for practice next week, and Coach Johnson decided that he wanted to knock us down a level or two. So we make it halfway through practice, and he brings us all up, and we're sitting on a knee, and we're like, what's going on? Are we ending practice early? Or are we this good that he's going to tell us, hey, I'm happy for you all. He looks at us all in the eyes and he says, "Boys, you just beat a 1-9 team. You think you're good? Get back on the line. We're starting practice over again." Halfway through practice, getting it back on the line, starting it again. No, he was a great and is a great guy.
Was he only there your freshman year?
He was, yeah.
So he was. So you guys were running the veer, because wasn't he like Hawaii and then Georgia Tech,
Georgia
Southern?
Yeah. And then came back to the academy and continued on with the triple and took that to Georgia Tech with him. But yeah, he is the ultimate guru of the triple option.
Who took over after him?
That was Coach Niemat. He was offensive coordinator, took over in 2007 for the bowl game, and then continued on for, I think, 15 years.
For a long time, man. Yeah.
He was Hawaiian too, right?
Yeah, he was
Hawaiian. Yeah. Okay.
Also the highest paid member of the DoD.
Yes. That's a little known fact right there. There you go, Chad.
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah, that's nice. Wait, so was Kyle Eckel around?
Yes, he was. Oh, no, Kyle was graduating the year that I came in.
Okay.
So he wasn't around, but he was a legend. We knew of Kyle.
Yeah.
Okay.
His reputation preceded him.
Yeah. All right. So you beat Notre Dame 3 out of 4 years, and I should have looked this up, because if I know the answer, I wouldn't ask if it's a bad answer. Did you beat Army while you were there?
Undefeated against Army and 3-1 against Air Force there.
Okay, so you're just a living legend. You're a living legend.
I'm part of the team. That's what that is.
Okay. And were you there 5 years playing, or just 4?
4.
Okay, 4. All right. So then you go to the Marine Corps. You leave the triple option for a little bit, but then you go back to Navy. We'll talk about your cool Marine Corps stuff later. But so then you go, and you work for Navy now, right?
Not right now. No, I actually, after getting out of the Marine Corps, I joined a civilian company. But I spent 2 years on staff. I was one of 2 active duty Marines on staff, and I acted as the director of player development.
That's awesome.
On football staff.
That's pretty sick.
Yes. Yep.
So you're like coaching football essentially, but an active
for the
duty
Marine Corps.
I wouldn't say coaching per se. It was helping those guys make the transition from civilian life to being a member of the Brigade of Midshipmen, and then ultimately become an officer in the Navy or Marine Corps.
Okay, got it. Are they still running the? Did they ever leave the veer, the triple option as you call it?
There are hints of it. They're calling it the Sling T now.
Sling T.
Coach Chronic is in there now, and he's starting to spread the offense out a little bit more, and it's awesome to see. It's really fun.
Okay.
So over under 5 passes,
Oh, we're way over now.
Yeah, way over.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
I think the last article I read, I think it says we're averaging about 7 to 9 passes per game. Yeah.
I love it, dude.
I love it, baby. Yeah.
Dang.
Little Roger Staubach.
Doubled their numbers.
That's good output. That's great output.
That's great. How did you feel going into last week's game? I got really fired up. I don't like Army. What I do like about Army is their gym has all strength co barbells.
No way.
How'd you that deal? Actually, it was a Mark Ripito fan. That's so the strength coach was from the Citadel. He worked under Donnell Boucher. I can't remember his name right now. I interact with him on Twitter a little bit.
Bobby.
And then Is it Bobby?
No, Bobby Boucher.
Bobby Boucher.
Bobby Boucher. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
Over my head.
Remember when he came in at halftime and the Mud Dogs won the Bourbon Bowl?
Yeah. Okay, got it. Yeah. Anyway, guy hits me up and he's like, "Hey, huge fan of the Strength Co. I'm like the requisition officer for Army. Like, I want to get all new barbells." And I'm like, "Say less." And the best part is they bought the core bar. So we have we have a bar called a standard bar. We have the core bar and the Semper Fi bar, and they bought like 15 core bars. And I just thought it was hilarious that in the Army weight room are all these Marine Corps bars.
Yeah, all right.
But yeah.
Hey.
So anyway,
it's all taxpayer funded anyways. So.
Yeah.
That's awesome though. Yeah. No, really. Like, hey, let's get you in contact over at the Naval Academy, right?
Yeah, let's do it. Anyway, I was fired up for this game. Army's undefeated, Navy's undefeated. You know, as you get older and you're from the great state of South Carolina, you realize the Gamecocks are what they are, and the Citadel football is just never going to be anything. And so, you know, you just start being like, yeah, go Navy, go Navy. And then I really don't like Notre Dame. Like there's just, I don't like Notre Dame. I didn't go to Navy, but you know,
you're anti-establishment.
Yeah. And so I was just fired.
So your roots were Navy.
So I worked for the Navy and worked for the Marine Corps. But I was fired up and I was pretty far let down. But were you like, what did you think going into that game? Were you like, you've beat them 3 times. Did you think there was a good chance for a W there?
Yeah. I mean, if you just look at the quality of teams that Notre Dame has played, I mean, let's take A&M out of it, right, Trey? I mean, A&M's a great team. But on the flip side, losing to Northern Illinois, beating some like a Georgia Tech team, not a really strong Georgia Tech team. I thought Navy had a really strong chance going into that game, and
just based off the strength of schedule of
Notre Dame. I think Navy was a sleeper going into that game. A lot of people were saying that their strength of schedule wasn't great either, and I think that they could have caught Notre Dame sleeping. But it looked like the guys came out a little asleep themselves. Half awake, 6 unforced turnovers or 5 unforced turnovers, 6 total. It's just that's not Navy football. So that was a little disheartening to watch, but I know that, their goals that they have to win the CIC trophy, to win the AAC, and then, make a New Year's Six bowl. Those are all still very attainable goals. So, just have to brush this one off and move forward.
Who's this week?
Rice. Powerhouse.
Oh, them Houston boys. Yeah,
they just fired their head coach too. So I mean, like right before the Navy game, it's pretty rough.
Yeah. Dang. Oof.
And then
Army Navy game. Are you going?
I want to. I bet you tickets are going to be pretty tough to come by this year, though.
Yeah. Man. It's really fun seeing the military schools good. Like I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I'm biased, but I just like it's just fun. You're just like,
just old school football.
Yeah, that's exactly the sling T. I've always said that around since 1935.
Dude, but when one of those triple option teams like gets going and they just are like 3-4 yard chunks, just like here, there, and then like
a lot of dust.
Without some like crazy, funky double reverse triple option counter, and like it breaks for like a 30-yard touchdown. You're just like, oh, this is so fun to watch. This is so cool.
I mean,
it is. Yeah, that right.
The death of the veer and the triple option is like, it's like people are like, what's wrong with America? I said, this started when we got rid of the fullback position. As soon as you get rid of just like a 6'6", 245 machine that can run, has like
Mike Allstott.
Mike Allstott. Like you get rid of the bus, like you get rid of fullbacks, and like that's the decline of the country. So
we should actually track that. Let's go back and look at when the fullback was phased out of football. Let's overlay some graphs. I think you're onto something.
That's a good case study.
Death of the country. I think Trump's running on that. Yeah, bring back the fullback.
My first day in office, I'm bringing back the fullback. Power I formation.
He's got my vote. Yeah.
Are you telling me the Southern swing states would flip immediately? They're like, oh, the fullback's coming back. I'm in.
Path to the White House.
Right. Yeah. Jeff, what do you got for Big Donnie?
Something I've always been curious about is like, so if you are a football player at Navy, but then like balancing the whole like military side of the thing Like, is that tough? Like, do they kind of like, is it a little, the football guys, they get a little slide, or just talk through some of that?
There's no slide as far as academics, military standards go. Now, the football part of it does take up a lot of your day. So you are removed from a lot of the stuff that takes place up in Bancroft Hall. Some room inspections, some uniform inspections you'll miss here and there. You have to make those up on the back end. So like when I was a student there, the captain that was in my position on staff would hold uniform inspections for us. Were they always up to standard? Maybe not, but we had every piece of our uniform. But long story short, the standards aren't necessarily relaxed. It's just you have to find different times to do everything.
Dang, that's cool.
But they're actually fans there, right? Like your cadets. Or midshipmen, excuse me. Sorry. But so the hard thing about the Citadel is like, we call it Core Squad. And when I was like gung ho as a freshman, I'm like, I hate Core Squad. Like, I don't like Core Squad. And then I realized I have to go to all the home games and we're just getting beat to death. And I'm like, why is Core Squad coming to any of this stuff we're doing? Like, they should just be in the chow hall pushing chow and like lifting weights. Like, I want to win on Saturday so I can leave campus on Saturday night, right? Get an overnight or whatever. But I feel like that culture is a little bit more built in, or a lot more built in at Navy, just because there's so many more fans and people that care about the program, right?
Yeah, I mean, you obviously have the haters that are within the brigade, the students that bring their chemistry homework to the game and do it up in the stands. Get out of here, nerd. You don't want to be here. We don't want to have you either.
They're not supporting the troops.
Yeah, exactly. Right. And your fellow students, right? But you also have those guys that like the Nolan Hickeys of the world who are down there and leading the pit, the wrestlers and the lacrosse players who are just absolutely rowdy, that are giving it to the other team, almost like making them cry. You have that on the flip side.
Yeah. All right. So you go back for this active duty job. Well, I guess we'll touch your artillery. You were an artilleryman, I guess second. I guess you're a Navy football guy first. But, no, I'm just kidding.
First,
I met. When did we meet Donnie, Jeff?
Oh, in like day one of checking into 511.
We checked in. We ran into Staff Sergeant Teal, Staff Sergeant Sanders, Staff Sergeant Walsh, Staff Sergeant Clemens.
Yep.
But like, I remember walking in. The first person I saw was Sanders playing guitar, laying on a couch. That was the very first thing I saw as a new lieutenant walking to the Tango Battery office.
That's how we roll.
Yeah. That's how we roll. No, I loved it. Now I'm realized like how great the culture was, like the best thing ever. But I don't remember the first time because Orr picked us up. Remember, Orr came to.
That's
Orr,
right.
We met with,
Nutty Professor, baby. Yeah.
Nutty Professor.
Was he in Tango then?
No, I don't
think
so.
He was because he's in Sierra with me.
Yeah.
I remember like him and Heitman came and like picked us up from the like battalion CP and walked us down.
Or was the battalion Uber.
Nutty Professor. So accurate.
But I don't actually remember the first. I remember a bajillion things after, but I don't remember the first iteration. You were a platoon commander.
I think I was FDO transitioned to the platoon commander position at that point in time. But I remember you two coming in, the Killer Bees, man.
Killer Bees.
Came right into the battery office. I remember meeting you all day one.
Yeah, I feel like it was day one. I remember you were first platoon. I think Dino was also like the FDO over there.
That's right. Yeah.
And we took both their positions, which isn't that doesn't mean we're better to the listeners that don't know the Marine Corps. It just means that we're more junior. So you took over and became my platoon commander, and I was the FDO. And Jeff, you took FDO from Dino, and then he was the platoon commander over there.
I think Heitman was.
Yeah, I had Heitman. Yeah.
Or was it Heitman?
He was the
Heitman. Okay.
I think that's always been a weird rank structure, if you will, or title structure. Like, when you say like my platoon commander, like I wasn't your platoon commander. Yeah. you were the FDO of first platoon, but yeah. But
you were the platoon commander. So if I did anything bad, I just was like, well,
Donnie gets in trouble.
I'm the junior officer. Blame it on Bowers. Yeah.
I will say, and we got to talk to Jeff a little bit while you're on here. He just did his first cannon shoot. But I will say one of the things, the nice thing about my Marine Corps career is I've basically done the same job for now like 13 years, like the same thing. It's like, okay, you're a lieutenant. You're an FDO. Okay, now you're a platoon commander. Okay, now you're the XO. Okay, now you're an I&I, which is essentially a glorified XO. Okay, now you're the regimental FDO. Okay, now you're a battery commander once you've like watched all these things and you're mentoring these people. And I'm just like, I've never left anything. But I'll say all that to say, HIMARS in the early days was 3 platoons, and you actually were pretty spread out.
Yeah.
And pretty decentralized, because now, like as a battery commander, we go and we'll have 6 guns here when we activate in January. But right now, it's like I got 3 guns, I got 80 guys, and I have 3-4 officers, and I'm like, I don't really know. Obviously they have jobs and they do stuff, but like not when I was lieutenant. But seriously, when we were lieutenants, it was like, okay, first platoon, go to this AFA. And like, we just went there. No one else went there. Like the battery commander was not in the position. Obviously he would come by, but it was a much different structure. And I think that I was always like, oh man, I got HIMARS. And then now I look back and I'm like, wow, that was actually a really cool experience. Cause there was a lot of like autonomy as a lieutenant to like run stuff.
Yeah. I love that. I love that aspect of HIMARS. And I think, I think we could all 4 of us on this call echo that sentiment of, when you found out that you're going to 511 and you look it up and you're like, HIMARS, like what? And then you go to Fort Sill and they probably touch on it for like 2-3 days. And you show up and they're like, hey, now you're an officer of HIMARS. Like, what do I do? But it was a great experience. And I was thinking about this the other day when you asked me to be on the show, someone said this and I can't remember who to attribute it to, but like being out of the Marine Corps now, they said, I miss the clowns. I don't miss the circus. And it's just like, I miss everything about the Marine Corps, about being with the guys and getting to do cool shit. But I don't miss the red tape. I don't miss the bureaucracy of it. Not one bit.
Yeah. I believe that.
Yeah.
Jeff, tell them about your shoot, and then I'll tell them about what I had to do tonight.
Yeah. So let's see, back in July, right? Yeah. July, I took over as the battery commander for November battery in 514. And we had our first shoot this past weekend. So it was,
what do y'all call the battery? What's the nickname?
So for a while there was like kind of not allowed, but it seemed like Nacho Battery is back in action.
Nacho 6 on the call. Okay. So I just put myself in that. So I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off. We're in July. You just took over the battery.
Yeah. And so, we just had our first shoot this last weekend. But man, I was like, there's so much more that's going on during the cannon stuff than HIMARS. I was like, okay, this is going to be interesting. And like, thankfully, the XO is super great. The battery gunny is amazing. Ops chief's great. FDO is great. The platoon sergeant or the staff sergeant that's acting as like the platoon sergeant and platoon commander for the guns platoon is awesome. So like, they 100% didn't need me out there. But it was a lot of learning and like really good stuff, and got a bunch of rounds out. So it was super cool. It was super fun.
Well, it's awesome that
yeah. Oh, go ahead, Donnie.
You have the Marines that are there and they have your back. I mean, that's something that.
Oh yeah.
They're not gonna let their battery CO fail. Yeah. So you've got that safety net of some great individuals that are going to help you through that. So that's, amazing to hear that.
It was fun.
Yeah, I was going to say 2 things on the clown and the circus part. So like I'm texting with Jeff beforehand and talking about some stuff. And then like he goes, and it's the same thing when I'm drilling and he's not drilling. It's like the day before drill. It's like, oh man, like I got to go do this. Like I'm not going to have a hot shower, like blah, 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 blah. And then it's like, you're in there like day 3. And this is like, I'm going to sound like a quintessential reservist, but I love it because it is what it is. And like by day 3, you're just like, put me on the beaches of Normandy now.
Yep.
Like I am ready. I love this. Everything's amazing. And so like when you're on the other end where one guy's drilling, you're not, you're like, hey dude, like you got it. Everything's cool. And then like, you can tell when the person's just like peaked. They're like, look, cannons are firing. Everything's amazing. And I'm like getting motivated. I'm like, yeah. And then tonight, we just had our baby like coming up on 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. I meant to kick it off. I meant to congratulate for that. And you, Trey, too, with the adoption.
Appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
Thanks.
I'm very proud of you too.
Yeah, we finally figured it out. We'll talk more about that because that's way more exciting than any of this. But anyway, then tonight I'm like, my XO is amazing, right? And I've always said in small business, people are like, well, like you're a Marine, like you've dealt with things tougher. I'm like, kind of. Also, the Marine Corps' design, like shoot me in the head, and there's like 10 people ready to do my job. And next man up, right? And I was like, and in small business, it's like shoot me in the head. We might go bankrupt, like, and you're always trying to put things in places, but it's different. And like, this was a great example. The battery was shooting the rifle range. And I just told, the tank commander, like, hey, sir, like, I'm not drilling that weekend. Like my wife may have the baby 3 days before, she may have it that weekend. Like I'm not missing the birth of my child for a rifle range. And he was like, totally. But at the same time, I was able to just be like, XO, like you got it. And so he's had it. And then tonight we had this call, this POA&M for activation. And so I get on it tonight and it's like, and you have to do this stuff, I guess. Mm-hmm. And it's just like, all right, line 1, S1, where are we at with this thing? And it's like, oh, sir, hang on, I got to ask and blah, blah, blah. It's like, and I told my wife, I was like, we got to wash the baby. I was like, yeah, this call will take like 20 minutes, like an hour later, like we're still going through. And I'm like, this was not the cool stuff Jeff was texting me about on Saturday night, like when rounds were exploding. Like, this is not what I wanted to do, like master this Excel document. But
yeah, it's like 10% cool things, 90%, planning, the admin, getting your SGIs right, getting your benefits, like whatever, right? It's like, that 10% that's cool, I think marginally outweighs the boring stuff sometimes.
Yeah, very marginally until you're out. And then you only think about the 10% part.
Yep.
That's right.
You're just like, yeah. So you have 2 kids?
We are still working.
Still working?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we are in the heat of our IVF journey right now.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So my wife and I experienced an ectopic pregnancy at the beginning of 23. And then we went through some medical stuff with that. And today we just did our first transfer of an embryo. So my wife is wrestling up right now. Yeah, we might have a baby attaching right now. We don't know. So in 2 weeks, we'll find out.
Yeah, that's tough stuff. No one ever tells you about that when you're like 18. They just tell you like, don't get pregnant.
You just assume you trip and just and
then baby.
That's right. Yeah, it's not as easy as it made it sound in high school education, physical education.
Yeah.
Like that, so.
Well, we're rooting for that. It's definitely coolest thing ever. Yeah, definitely coolest thing ever, and pretty mind blowing. And I don't know, like when we got pregnant, because we were trying for like 2 years, and then when it happens, you're like, oh, I get it. Like my life's gonna change. I get it. And I'm only like 12 days into this, right? But then like when she's born.
You're an expert.
Yeah, no, yeah, I'm as a dad. But when she's born, you're like, whoa, I got nothing for 9 months. Like I thought, you start going through everything in your head. Okay, like this will be different. We won't ever do this thing again in this format. Like, and then like when the baby's born, you're just like, whoa, like this is actually like really, really mind blowing. Or you're like Trey and you don't get to plan anything for 9 months and you get 2 right off the rip.
48 hours. Yeah, man. Hey, come pick up these babies.
You said babies, plural? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's fucking down, man. You just went all in.
If you're going to do it, man. Yeah. Might as well.
So what's this post-Marine Corps gig?
So I'm actually working for a medical device company that sells heart pumps. It's the smallest percutaneous heart pump in the world.
I think you forgot I was homeschooled. What's percutaneous mean?
We put it in through the skin.
Oh, okay, got it.
Sorry, yeah. It's used in cases for cardiogenic shock. So if your heart itself is starting to fail, the body is amazing. It has compensatory mechanisms where it'll start making your heart work harder, but then your end organs are going to start shutting down. So we put that pump in. It takes over the function of the heart while the person rests and recovers. And then we also use it for high risk intervention. So if you've ever heard of anyone going to get a coronary artery bypass graft, that's the gold standard. Unfortunately, some of the population is too sick to even handle that procedure itself. So the last stop on the road is to have a coronary intervention done with stents. If you're too sick to get a bypass graft, then you're probably too sick to handle a balloon being inflated into your coronary artery. So we implant that pump beforehand. It takes over the function of the heart, and we can do that intervention safely.
Dang.
Like surgery required, or is it just?
It's a surgery. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you in? So are you having to go in the operating room with all these doctors whenever they're doing it?
Yes. Yeah. So we're there to advise. I don't scrub in. I don't have hands on, but we're there to make sure that the implementation of the device is done safely. And then we report everything to the FDA afterwards, so that we can continue our research and development.
Dang.
That's pretty cool, man. So are you like on call? I remember when I interviewed for medical device, like you had to be on call for pretty much all the time. I'm not sure what your schedule's like with that, man. Is it pretty nuts?
We have a pretty big team that we work with here, so we're able to transfer call for 24 hours. So someone's responsible for late night stuff that happens, and then you just transfer that over. So it's kind of like duty rotation.
Nice.
Okay. Yeah,
I love duty.
It's a good quality of life. Yeah. Big duty guy.
Big duty
guy. Love duty.
God, duty is literally the worst thing of all time. God.
Ooh, Donnie, we had an episode where we talked about our favorite duty stories. You got any good ones?
Ooh.
Oh man.
I'm pretty sure like there was a couple times where like I relieved you probably like 4 times in a row.
I remember Donnie being CDO.
Oh yeah. You knew it was going to be a good night if Donnie was CDO. Yeah.
I always like going into the barracks and kind of scaring the Marines and having them report to me, and just like they're awful at it. They're awful. Gosh, man, I don't have any great stories. I think I might have been on the night that I think there was a lieutenant from 1-1 or 3-1 that might have passed. I think he got blindsided, T-boned. That wasn't a good one. I think I'm pretty sure I was on duty that night.
Yeah.
Nothing wild though. I don't.
Yeah. No, interesting. That guy I went to TBS with, and I have a coach at my gym in California, Brad, who was with, I think it was 3-1, but it could have been 1-1. Now I can't remember, but I went to Jeff and I both went to TBS with him, but that was his platoon commander when that happened. Ooh, and they had deployed together, and it's interesting. Like, what's
his name,
and not to like focus on that, but the Marine Corps really is so small.
Yeah.
Like, and as you get out, and do other things, you even just think about it in terms of, like businesses that, run and operate, and you're like, wow, this is under 200,000 people, and now like much under 200,000 people. But, and then you take the people that do 4 years versus the people that like stick around the organization, and you realize like, wow, this is like super small.
You always cross paths. Yeah.
Yeah. You always cross. I mean, it blew my mind when I'm like, I have a Long Beach police department that was a corporal, and the lieutenant who died, I went to TBS with, and oh, by the way, his like partner at Long Beach PD, they just won like this award recently, and he sent me the photo. His partner is a Lance Corporal 0811 that was a reservist. Like while I was at I&I at November Battery, right? He's out now, Jeff. You don't have him anymore, but it's just like, wow, this is like such a small mesh of, there's so many intersections. It's fun though. It's good.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what makes the Marine Corps special.
Yeah. You still training? Still in the gym? Still
That's
hitting
right.
some weights? You're looking kind of lean.
I appreciate that. I wish the scale would tell me so, but no,
it's just a number.
It's just a number. That's right. We're currently building the footprint of our garage gym right now. So I got some kettlebells, some adjustable dumbbells. We got a bench, we got a treadmill, we got a row machine. So the next thing is we're gonna get a squat rack. We're in the market.
Like you know a guy.
I do know a guy. Now, you're actually going to be the guy that I called to get some weights.
Yeah, I actually saw that you were doing that with my feelers that were out there. My spidey senses told me. I was like, I should get him on the pod, and then
that's why you're here.
Guilty.
Graham's closing the cell. Yeah,
get him on record saying he's going to call me.
Why don't you go ahead and just whip out that credit card right now?
Just do this order right now.
Yeah.
What can you put you down for? 2,000 pounds of iron, huh?
I'm good for it. Yeah.
So I do gotta ask you, and back to like the Marine Corps being cool. You're a guy that like I might not text you for 14 months, and then I text you, or vice versa, right? Like you hit me up, and it'll be like about a football game or like something, and then it's like, "What's up?" Blah blah blah. And luckily with social media, you kind of like keep up with folks. But serious question, answer it honestly. How long have you known about the OK podcast?
I think it was for Nolan's episode.
Okay. All right.
I saw the graphic that got pushed out. So I started listening from episode 1 and made my way up.
Okay.
Oh, wow. What real listener. Oh,
yeah.
They are out there.
That's what I was saying, meeting your heroes. It's kind of nerve-wracking.
All right. So you've been following a little bit.
I'm glad you brought that up too, because I was thinking about that after you had asked me to come and join you guys for the podcast. Is just like, seasons of life, right? Like, I was around you guys nearly every single day, and we were hanging out on the weekends while we were lieutenants together. And, we formed this bond. And then, the Marine Corps sends you to different places, and, you start kind of like losing touch with everyone, but getting on here and being able to talk to y'all, it's just like picking right back up where we left off. And it's wonderful. And I hate that, we start losing touch with people that way, but I'm glad that we, share such a bond that we can get on here and cut it up still.
Oh, yeah. It's almost like we lived together in Afghanistan for like 6 months.
go out behind the ready room and tan and shit. Yeah,
that's right. Yeah, bring the Kentucky flag out and take a photo.
Oh, yeah.
How you feel about Wildcat football?
You know what? I'm not following Wildcat football religiously. I know they're hitting a pretty rough time, and in typical Kentucky fashion, as soon as you lose 2 games, you're calling for Stoops' head, which I don't think is right. I think he's brought that program a far way from what it used to be. It sucks losing to the Gamecocks, but that was a tough game. I got to watch that one. But I'm all in for Kentucky basketball. The Pope has arrived.
Okay, all right, it's time. What else we got for 'em, boys? Before we take it through the rundown,
dude. Well, I don't have a question. I think my favorite memory, Donnie. Were you in the 3 shop? Did you come right after me?
So as soon as I had promoted to captain, I went to the 3 shop. I was cops for a little bit, FOPS for a little bit, and then
cops and FOPS, baby.
Assistant fire planes officer, which was I loved doing that. I absolutely love being the assistant fire planes officer.
I think you were in the 3 shop. I was in the 4 shop. Then I moved over to the 3 shop, and our desks were like right beside each other.
Yeah,
but like my favorite, talking about like keeping in touch throughout the years. My favorite thing is like me and Donnie, like we wouldn't text anything like after I got out, but then like randomly I would just receive like, a request to split an Uber like out of nowhere. Like it'd be like 11 PM and I was just like, Donnie requests to split an Uber with you. I'm like in Texas, Donnie's in California, and I would always deny it. And I would text him like, you clown, like quit doing that. And there was one time like Donnie sent it. I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna make his night. I'm gonna accept it.
Oh man,
I didn't realize he was going. You were going from San Diego back to like Carlsbad, and it was like you split it. It was like I was like an $85 charge on my credit card, and I was like, and I texted him like, dude, I didn't know. He's like, gotcha, and that was it. I was like, I'm never doing this for Donnie.
So my favorite thing about Donnie, and it'll sound very heartfelt at first, then you'll find out it's not, is every Thanksgiving this dude texts me. Or I text him, and it's not because we love each other so much, but we have a person that shall not be named that sends out these like very, like those like boomer style texts, like very generic, like, hey, hope you and all your loved ones are having a great Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving. And this literally started, it's probably been 10 years, and you get the text. And the first time, I don't know if Donnie sent it to me, a screenshot, or I sent it to him. But it's the same text, right? But it tries to come off as personal. And so like he sent it to me, let's just say. So then I screenshot the same one that I got within the same minute, and I send it back. and then so then year 2, it happens again, but no one has replied to the guy from last year. You screenshot.
What a character, right?
And you send it back. And it's like one of my favorite things, because I just know like if he sends it, like we both send it back and forth, who's first now is the competition. But when it happens, like I just know, like I don't even talk to Donnie, but I know he's just like belly laughing his butt off right now. That like,
golly, man, that individual, what a guy.
Takes all types. Takes all types.
Do we all know this person?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
Yeah,
I think
we
you
all
should
do.
know more.
Yeah.
Trey, you would probably know the name. You probably didn't have
He
to.
texted me a couple months ago. And he's like, "Hey, what are you doing now?" And I explained to him, and then like he's just like, "Okay." Like, why do you doing a job now?
Okay.
Okay. Maybe it's listen to OK podcast.
Yeah, get him on.
Yeah, get him on.
Next week.
I
was going to see if
Trey,
Donnie remember. I had one.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. Yeah. Save your
remember.
Go.
I feel like we had a pretty big crew going out one night, a bunch of lieutenants and such, and we ended up at Captain Keno's right there in Encinitas. And we just turn the bird, baby. Turn that bird.
Turn the bird. That is a dive bar. That's the quintessential dive bar.
Dude,
yeah.
I feel like I found that video on my like laptop or something like that. And it just like, it's like,
please
what a crew. What a crew.
Yeah. It was
I remember there was one night that we were going to go out for beer. I think it was like it might've been a Thursday or something like that. And never do you go out for beer, right? I remember we ended up, in the history of man, we ended up at Jack in the Box, and gosh, Jeff, you housed like 12 tacos, and like I was sitting there just in amazement. Like I was just like, remember this guy's putting it away. I think I made it like my Facebook status or something like that. So the next time it comes up on my memories, I have to screenshot it and send it to you.
When Jeff turns on that chow meter, it's just like full blast.
If you're gonna do it, man. Come on.
That's right.
Do it right. I've tried to get on, and he's a faithful listener, so maybe this will help. Big Remp stick on.
Ooh,
and Rempy's like, I'm not really into that thing, but then he'll text me like during the week. He'll be like, dude, Nolan's story about so and so, and I'm like, just come on the podcast. He's like, no, I'd be boring.
I'm not into that.
Yeah.
I'm not an artist. Yeah.
He's like, you got a pretty, big time. What was it? We had the family event. We had the family event, like where all the, battery commanders and battalion commanders, like wives came, and all the wives. Yeah. All the wives were calling him Lieutenant Yum Yum. And
I can see why.
I just call him Rippy, Lieutenant.
Good looking dude. We always said, good looking dude.
Awesome. Well, if you've listened since episode 1, you know what's coming next. I'll let Trey kind of take you through it.
So I'm sure you know who our faithful sponsor is. The one, the only BW. So I feel like I don't need to explain it to you, man. You know what's up. It's just we're going to give you the floor, and you got to give us your best ad read with the facts that we spit at you. And you take it however you want to.
No, these are hard. I tried to do this.
Getting better.
Good night. Hold on.
We've heard some. There you go.
Yes, sir.
Get lubed up. I like it. Yeah, man. Well, so we'll spit some facts at you. We've heard some. I'm not going to rank them, but we've heard some pretty bad ones. We've also heard some really good ones, though.
Yeah.
So just shoot for the middle, man.
Yeah, it's a standard deviation for a reason. I hope I'm right there in the middle.
Yeah. There you go.
Interpolate. You want to give me some facts, Trey?
Yeah. Okay. BW Tax, located in Greenville, South Carolina. From Boston, moved to South Carolina. Has a great team down there. Yeah, God's country. Yeah. Great team of tax professionals down there.
That's it. Okay.
That's it.
Do you want me to keep going?
You're good. I'm going to go a little bit further just because BW Tax is the ultimate sports fan. I would say like he's kind of like my Donnie Bowers in college. Like we played rugby together. Like it was just like, hey, if I want to have a good time, this is the guy I'm going with. But interesting thing about him is he graduates from the Citadel. He's got his CPA and stuff, and he decides he wants to bring the veer back to the Citadel because Kevin Higgins had gone the spread offense. So he buys all of Georgia Tech's Paul Johnson's football footage from Georgia Tech off of eBay and studies it and does like a Moneyball situation of why the Citadel should bring back the triple option because we're not made with our talent of athletes to run the spread offense. And the Citadel goes on to 2 10-win seasons and makes it to the FCS semifinals and lost by a field goal. Greatest thing since 1996, Charlie Taft. So huge fan of the veer. Like
this changes everything.
The veer.
Wow.
Yeah, it changes everything. And like he loves sports. Like Trey and I like sports. We like to get excited about it. This guy wants to know like that screenshot I sent of you, left tackle, 6'6", 234. I didn't dig that up. BW Tax dug it up because that's the kind of data guy that he is. And that's the guy you want doing your taxes. You don't want some guy that just gets excited about Sandstorm. You want to know, did Navy pass 7 times or 9 times on Saturday? Because that could be a difference in the game. So that's what I'd say about BW.
All right.
Jeff?
Wow. To follow that, it's a small team, but it's a dedicated and loyal team that's going to be there when you need them. So you give them a call, they're going to answer, send them an email, they're going to respond. And they're not going to put you on hold or have ChatGPT talk to you and, not actually give you the answer you're looking for. They're going to be there to help you out when you need it.
Call from anywhere.
Yeah.
All right,
man. All right. Do you need more facts?
We can keep going. I love BW.
That's a lot.
I feel like getting great with deep with that veer.
Sorry. Yeah.
That was good.
Okay, so is it just like
you're ready?
Let's count you down.
Just go straight in. Yeah, I mean, I'm ready. I'm kind of ready to jump in. I think so.
Let it rip. Let it rip.
1.
Go.
Are you looking for your next tax professional to help you in the upcoming tax season? Not only taxes, he does the veer. BW Tax. Get on the phone with him. Talk with him day or night. Call him anytime for any advice. Also, he's a 10-win coach at the Citadel, running the America's favorite offense, the triple option. BW Tax is your guy. Let's win together. BW Tax.
Oh, clip it. I love it.
Good.
Yeah.
And to be
BW bringing back the fullback.
Bringing back the fullback. And to be clear, wasn't the head coach or anything. He was the data guy, but that's what you like more.
He was on staff. Yeah.
He was on the staff. Yeah. You get it. And he also said to me today, he said, don't call it the veer. No one calls it the veer. They call it the triple option.
Yeah.
And I said, yeah, I always called it the triple option. But then I met you who knows way more about it than me, and you call it the veer. He's like, yeah, but he's a football player. Just call it the triple option. So, that's where we're at. All right, good. I feel like BW will enjoy that. He really wanted me to bring up Paul Johnson.
I didn't know that about the guy. That's pretty cool, though.
Yeah. Really cool. I mean, he's literally a guy that you've never met. And
I feel like I know.
Read. Oh, and if you came here right now, Trey can attest to this. It happened to him. He came into town and he's like, oh, I feel like I'm with lieutenants of 5'11". Like, it's just, I'm in. Right, Trey?
Oh, yeah. Hung out with him twice, man.
Yeah.
Good. Watched the Notre Dame A&M game together. Yeah, it was a good time.
He's a good dude.
Baby was born and you're doing all the hospital stuff and home over hospitals. Trey's always said that, home over hospitals every time. And we get in the car, and there's a way that you can drive home where you can't go to BW Tax from the hospital. And there's also a way where you can go to BW Tax. So the first place I brought my daughter was to the BW Tax parking lot. Took a photo, sent it to BW. That's I don't know what stronger recommendation you could get from me,
Wow.
Yeah.
That's saying something right there.
Wow.
Yeah. Before Trey or Jeff takes you through the next part, I did want to ask, and I forgot, favorite Navy game as a player?
Ooh, great question.
Has to be the Texas Bowl 2009 against Missouri. Pretty big upset win for us. Blaine Gabbert was playing quarterback for Mizzou at the time. Really the best thing about that was our only bowl win that, we went to 4 bowls. We were 1-3 in bowl games while I was there, but that was our one and only bowl win. And it was a New Year's Eve bowl. So we got to go out and Houston after the game and celebrate. So
dang,
nice. I gotta say, we've had 3 college athletes on, and I think you're up there in the rankings. We got Nolan Hickey, college lacrosse, Donnie Bowers, Navy football, and Steven Garcia, Gamecock football legend. So, I mean,
that's good company to be in.
Yeah, you're walking with legends. So we'll have to get Bill Belichick on next. Big Navy guy.
Huge Navy guy. He's got the key to the city there in Annapolis. Yeah.
Did you think for a second that he might go coach there?
I kind of thought so. At least to be a consultant with the team or something like that.
Yeah,
epic.
I did too. Yeah. Then he met that 24-year-old. Yeah, everything changed. But yeah. All right, Jeff. I feel like he doesn't need much instruction here.
I don't think he does either. And I think I know exactly how I'm going to have him channel a good okay.
I hope you do it the way I think you're going to do it.
So an unforgettable figure of our time at Tango Battery was a certain battery master sergeant Cad. And if you just remember, anytime some young new Lance Corporal PFC would be strolling down the hall of the battery office, and Master Sergeant Cad would be sitting at his desk. Mm-hmm. Or maybe they would come up and they would walk by the office, or maybe they had a bad haircut. And it's a Monday morning. They gave it the old barracks cut. There's no fade. It's just this like straight line haircut. And, nothing would get by Master Sergeant Cad. He would snap him up, be like, okay, and get him in front of the desk, snap, point, give him that just unforgettable, just stop them in their tracks kind of move. So I want you to channel Master Sergeant Cad on a Monday morning, some Lance Corporal that either didn't get a haircut or shows up with some funky barracks haircut, and you're locking them on with a good okay, a real strong okay.
I just want to say I'll never reach the level of Master Sergeant Davey Cad. Absolute legend.
But
I'll try to channel his energy. But do I get a countdown again there?
Yeah. Ready? Gotcha. 3, 2, 1, scene.
Okay.
I don't know. It's not bad.
I don't know. Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Hey, I like it.
That's good. I've heard worse. So, I mean, that means I'm above someone.
Yeah. So, and I got to say, remember Donnie Bowers, a mentor to all of us, my platoon commander. They say when you're an officer, they either say the lieutenant or the platoon commander, but I called you my platoon commander, even though you think the rank structure's off. We've never done this before where we let someone have 2 chances at their okay. And we're going to do it just because there was another figure in that battery that is maybe not your quintessential gunnery sergeant and maybe did things a little bit different, not in your most standard Marine Corps way. And I'm going to play you a little 24-second clip by Jadakiss to see if you can Jadakiss to see if you can pick up where I'm going, and then give you another.
I think I already know where this is going.
I think I got that right. Maybe not.
The champ is here. Ladies and gentlemen, the heavyweight champion of the world has arrived. The champ is here. The champ is here. The champ is here.
All right, so you got
Gunny
what's
Will.
his name? Gunny Wilk, Gunner Sergeant Jermaine Wilkerson, right? He sees the, and you don't have to say okay, you can maybe weave it in, but he sees the same Marine in tears, bloodshot eyes. Davy Cad just finished with him, telling about how he's going to eat his heart and stuff it down his throat or whatever the line is. And then he tells him, go see the BG, because the Master Sergeant's trying to mold the BG to be a real dick. But he walks in and he sees he sees Gunny Wilk, and he has to go by Donnie Bowers first. What's Big Jermaine saying?
Man, he's going to put his arm around that guy. He's going to get him right. He's going to show him some love. Yeah, champ is here, but that guy led. He led with love. He really did.
Yep.
Yeah.
Jermaine was the man. He actually reached out to us after the hurricane, because he was like, and it was so fitting with his personality, because he's like, hey sir, I ain't talked to you in a while, see you slinging them weights. The champ is here. He literally said that, and he's like, your family good with the hurricane? We've been praying for you. And I was like, what a legend. And that's it's a cool thing. You got Davy Cad one side, Jermaine Wilkerson the other.
Champ is here. He was also that we were surrounded by legends, man, and 5'11". That's what we had legends raising us. So hopefully some of that rubbed off. Yeah. And Sierra Battery.
Yeah. Sierra Battery's part of 5'11". He's in 5'11". He's
over there.
Yeah. Sparta. Okay. So we know you have a huge social media presence. Like, you're kind of like a TikTok phenom. So if you want anyone to find you, if you have anything you want to say, if you need to promote anything, now's your chance.
Oh man. You can find me on Instagram at Don Wannen Only. Came up with that in the lieutenant days. Nothing to promote. I think general health, which is what you guys touch on here, working out, staying healthy, because the individuals that I see in my now line of work, they are the sickest of the sick. They're the ones that have trouble getting up off the couch to play with their grandkids. They're walking down the driveway to get the mail out of the mailbox is a chore for them. They get out of breath. So if I can just say one message, is just stay up on your health. Don't let yourself slide to that point, and lift weights, be healthy.
Yeah. All right, dude. Later.
There you go.
All right, guys, what should we give him? What would you give him, Jeff?
Oh, Donnie, he's a good dude. Good dude.
Trey, would you give him anything?
Yeah, pretty good dude.
Good dude. You know why? Because he's from the South.
I don't know why I thought he was from Baltimore. Yeah.
Big Kentucky boy. Kentucky boy.
I've never met anybody from Baltimore.
Yeah, that was still alive.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah. Good dude.
Really good.
Man,
Dang.
it was like I was having flashbacks.
Same.
Yeah, I was having flashbacks.
Dang, I can't remember. He still remembers that night. I ate 10 tacos and a junior bacon cheeseburger or something like that at Jack in the Box.
Man, that was such a feat of strength. They named a beer after you. It's called Guinness. It's in their book of world records.
Oh, man.
Wow.
Same.
I get it now.
Yeah, thanks. I didn't get Bobby Boucher. I still don't, but I really want to.
Waterboy.
Adam Sandler.
Yeah, never seen it.
Oh, well, it's good.
One day.
It's a good one.
One day.
Nah, you'd be all right if you never see it.
Yeah, honestly, at this point, I wouldn't worry about it. But like if you had seen it back when it came out, you would appreciate it. So therefore, it would still have like maybe some meaning to it. Yeah. But I feel like now you'd be like, this is dumb.
My parents thought it was a kid movie, so they took everybody.
I mean, still talk about boy.
You're not true.
Yeah. I'm more of a Christmas Story guy.
Never seen it.
So
I've seen it.
Yeah, I'm a Christmas Story guy because wasn't really allowed to watch it. But you got my dad's father, Dick Broggi, Richard John, but he went by Dick, and real Italian, like 400 pairs of shoes in his closet, everyone with a shoe horn, matching leather polish and rag. A always, dressed to impress, even when he's watching TV.
Very
and so like if your dad walks in and you're watching A Christmas Story, even though they say like, damn, but like you're sitting with grandpa, like, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
Rip the child out of the arms. And so, I mean, if it's like something real sinful, like Godzilla or Ghostbusters, the answer is yes. But if it's A Christmas Story, it's like borderline. And, so yeah, I've seen A Christmas Story, and whenever I watch it, I just, it's like, you just think of grandpa, and, you shoot your eye out, boy. Good movie. Yeah. That's my only childhood movie.
If I ever watch now, I'm going to be thinking of Grant with his grandpa.
Yep.
So
yeah, like 5 sitting on his lap, just watching it. My dad, like, oh, they're gonna say "damn" soon when we turn it off.
Oh, so your dad's seen it? Casting the first stone over there.
Don't throw rocks at a glass house. I've always said that.
Hell's that plank in your eye, Dad? Huh?
Yeah. All right. So, would you be worried if you were a Yankees fan?
Yeah. I would.
Are they playing tonight? Or is it
winning right now?
6-4 Yankees, top of the 7th. Yeah, they're down 0-3. It's not looking good.
Not looking good at all.
How much money do you think the MLB loses if it's a sweep? Like, I would love to see that dollar amount.
Yeah, that's interesting.
So
in any like sports, like
the cities.
True. So, like, NBA bases the salary cap next year of how they did the season before.
Interesting.
Which I didn't realize. Someone told me that. And that makes sense. And so the salary cap goes down if it's a short series, like an NBA championship. Like if it gets swept and it's a shorter season, so the salary cap's not as high.
Is it like significantly it goes down, or
I think enough to like, I don't know, probably not make a huge difference, but still. And I say that with 100% confidence. I also don't know if that's 100% accurate.
Yeah, Bitcoin fixes Bitcoin fixes all of this.
Dang,
but I feel like I've heard that somewhere.
Yeah.
I mean,
we'll get PJ to check it out.
Yeah.
Take it on post.
PJ, put some stats up. PJ, just put a Duncan thing across the bottom right here.
There you go.
He's like, dang it. Now I got to put a Duncan across the bottom. Yeah.
Make that grass a little bit taller.
Yeah. Actually, grow a little grass.
Grow a little grass.
No, it's still not tough. Now it's tough. Now it's tall grass. Now it's tall.
Now have the Duncan go across.
Now have the Duncan go through the grass and find the radio.
But like weave in and out of the grass. Yeah. You got it,
PJ. Good job, PJ. PJ's in New York right now.
Oh, big city boy.
Yeah, went out to one of his clients, big Bitcoin guy, Pompliano. Needed him to film something, and so he was in New York. I went to update his workout stuff, and he's like, "Bro, I'm in New York." And I was like, "Cool." So I was like, "Are you going to the game?" And he said no, but yeah.
Actually, he probably said, "What game?"
Yeah, probably. Yeah, big sports guy.
Sports guy.
What do we got to hit on the slide deck here?
You got to talk about this shirt that you're pretty pumped on. This dad shirt, Grant. I don't know how to say. Lala Boo.
Yeah, you're asking the wrong guy for pronunciation and correct spelling, because I might have done that wrong.
So he just arbitrarily picked letters.
I said it with 100. I typed it with 100% confidence, but I have no idea if that's the name of the company.
Very well.
No, I got this Instagram ad for this T-shirt that's like kind of form fitting, and it just has like an opening. And so my wife got. Now I'm going to grant it, and I'm not trying to grant it. What do you call the wraps that you do, like all the 600 wraps, and there's a baby stuck to you, like a wobble or woofy?
Yeah.
Swaddle?
Not any of that. Swaddle. Well, it's like the baby ends up swaddled but attached to you.
To you, yeah.
I think it's a woofy.
Yeah. Or whoopee. The Marine Corps has the whoopee. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, it's like a long piece of cloth. But then there's like all these rules where it has to be like flat on this shoulder before you cross this side of your abdomen. And I tried it one time and I was like, I can't do this. And, but I had the ads for these T-shirts and I was like, this seems way easier. And then Trey was like, I don't think that works. Babies just spit up and now the shirt's dirty. So I got it. And then, we're first time parents. So we wash everything in like the perfect kind of detergent and dry it on cool air. So it takes 12 hours, before the baby's allowed to touch it. But no, we used it today. I went to lunch and I put it on and I was like, let me try it. So when we get there, like you can eat and there's no like transfer, right? Because babies don't like transfer. So put her in, went outside, maybe had a 10-minute walk, went in, ate. There's like a little flap for head support. Also good for not spilling rice on the baby. You just flap the flap up and then you eat rice.
It's actually called the rice flap.
The rice. It's the rice catcher. And but so it was about an hour and a half outing. And like if you put them in milk drunk, you're kind of good for an hour and a half anyway. But yeah, it was great. But the shirt was great. It was like pretty comfortable. Everyone comes up and compliments you, not because the baby, they're like, I've never seen this shirt. Do I think it would work if the baby was like 9 months old? I'm going to probably say no, like more squirming, more spitting up, more of that stuff happening. But actually like at this phase where she just like, when she's ready to sleep, she sleeps. It was great. Like actually really big fan, potential sponsor, Lalaboo. I think it's like lullaby, but lullaboo. I don't. Yeah,
that sounds right.
I Googled it. I think you're right. Yeah, you spelled it right.
Yeah, I got 2 of them. Well, I bought one, and then my mom bought me one. So I wore the short sleeve one today, but then I bought a black long sleeve one. I figured it'd be good for Gamecock football on Saturday.
Yeah.
So
sold out
game, but it's small. It's like a church service, so only like 88,000 people. It's like nothing.
It's just like a Texas church service.
Yeah,
like a first service. Yeah,
like a first service. Yeah. In Texas, they call those revivals. But I'm a big fan of the T-shirt. So yeah.
See, Grant, you've been getting some political text messages again. It sounds like.
Oh man, so
relentless.
We got it. We talked about them, and I don't think that I really. Like I understood because I was getting them, but now I'm behind on everything in my life. So like anytime I like look, I've always have like 16 unread messages. And then all of a sudden I was like multiplied by 2. And it's just all of these political text messages. So I finally just started saying stop. Because most of the time I just delete and I'm just like stop. And it's not stopping. A lot of political text messaging.
You just text back like I voted. Like, too late.
So
I voted.
Here's a picture of my sticker.
That. Yeah, I think that's worse because like we do a little SMS, not a ton, but we SMS some of our customers, and most of the time when people reply, they're actually like, and they might even be like, "Oh, I don't like bumpers. I like cast iron," and then you're just like, "Oh, we're coming out with a 0.75 pound plate. You should sign up for it here." Like usually if they interact, it means they're interested. I don't want to know what people reply to political text. I'm sure it's not very kind, but yeah, I've been a big stop guy right now.
Ooh, I love that. I love texting those things. Stop. My favorite.
Yeah. Stop.
It's going to end here pretty soon, right? Next week, 2 weeks.
Anybody else vote today?
Next week. Yeah. Well,
early voting was,
I think there's 49 days in October and the election's not till November 5th. So we have some time now.
Mm-hmm. Voted
early voting in Texas. I think we did it. Oh, you did it today?
Yeah.
I think we did it last week.
Yeah. Nice. In South Carolina, we just call it voting.
We just call it voting. Yeah.
Early voting.
Yeah. We just call it voting. Yeah. I haven't done it yet. BW went today and I actually was in the office and I walked in the office. I walked into BW's office and he was like in the middle of probably some like real minutia of someone's taxes saving them a lot of money. And I wanted to be funny. So I walked in his office. I could tell he wasn't on a phone call. So I turned off his light. I took my backpack off. I laid it down. I laid down on the ground with my head in the backpack and put like my hat over my face. And he's like, "New dad, man. I get it. And then I popped up. I was like, "Nah, I'm just kidding." He's like, "Hey, we're all going to vote. You want to come?" And then he goes, "Wait, I already know the answer." "Dude, I'm so busy. I'm a new dad. I have no time." And I was like, "Yeah, seriously, though, I can't go vote right now." I was like, "I'll go vote later."
But mine was quick, man. I had nobody in line.
Yeah, super quick. It was
nice.
easy. I love when you get to like the end of the ballot or like towards the end of the ballot, and it's all like you're like, I don't know who any of these people are. Like,
yeah,
and you're okay.
That guy's name is cooler.
Yeah,
that sounds like a lawyer name.
We had all the end of our ballot was like so many bonds. It's like, vote yes. I'm like, no, I'm not raising my property taxes.
Yeah, that's they're all bonds. And I was like, no.
Yeah. I had so much conviction on that. No to bonds.
No to bonds.
Speaking of lawyer names.
Lawyer names. Yeah, we still got the next slide.
I don't, nothing comes to my mind. The big one here in like Salt Lake is Siegfried and Jensen is like the big commercials that you see all the time, but that's not very.
Grant. So I was on a commercial. I think I was watching TV. You
were on a commercial. I get it. You're a big commercial guy.
I was feeding a baby. Yeah. I was on the commercial. But no, the commercial was a new lawyer in town. And I feel like all these new lawyers, like car crash, like you have to have like a fancy name. Is there who's the big one out in South Carolina? Do you know one?
There is one. So that's why it's not good. There is one on the way to Charlotte when you go through Gaffney. And I can't remember it, but I can picture his face. But the only time there's a area in Southern California, Santa Ana, where our warehouse is out there.
Yeah.
And it's Maria Rodriguez. And she's like on every corner.
She have a nickname?
Yeah, she's a Mexican lawyer. That's her nickname. No, I don't know what her nickname is. Maria Rodriguez, but you see it and you just like can't forget it. Like I can picture it. It's like on every corner. It's like blue with pink lettering. It looks
Maybe
like
it's just Texas then, man.
It looks like a Selena billboard.
Okay.
Yeah, which is probably by design. But yeah, no, I can't think of, I mean, when you put in the messages, famous lawyer nicknames, the first thing I thought of was Matlock, honestly.
Famous lawyer.
Yeah. Famous lawyer.
Andy Griffith.
Or we got Jameson Carl Broggi.
That's
Does he have a cool lawyer nickname?
Not a nickname. My grandfather, Dick Broggi, who I watch A Christmas Story with, would say he would pick the first name and the middle initial because he's like, Broggi will always look good on a glass door. But like, what does the first name and the middle initial look like? So like when my kids have a practice, like what does it look like? That's how he picked his
forward thinking. Okay.
Yeah. Forward thinking. Yeah. We're FOPs. We're a FOPs family.
Yeah. It sounds like it.
Yeah. Future ops. Well, we got anything else we need to hit?
Save rounds.
Are the Stars at Night? Anything there?
I did I watched the LSU A&M game at the Cosm, man.
Oh, yeah. Actually, tell me about that.
Dude, worth the price of admission.
Really? How much was the admission?
Well, this one I used the credits that I was given since they messed up last time, so it worked out pretty nicely.
You're a big points guy, but
guy.
What does it cost?
So low end, you can buy on First Deck. You can buy you buy it like either in sets or groups. Like you can't buy most times not a single ticket, and the high tops at the bottom are like $50 a pop.
Okay.
And that's the cheap one. Middle of the road, I would say $100 a pop. You're like in a third deck, you're on the booth. And then the second deck is kind of like the club level. And that's like 200 maybe.
Okay.
Did it feel like you were in the stadium?
Dude, it was unreal. Yeah.
Dude, that video.
Could you also still like watch the game? Yeah. Did he send us a video?
Uh-huh. Well, I think put it in the.
I need to get that up on the OK podcast.
Dude, I thought it was. I thought you were at the game. I was like, oh, nice. He went down to the game, and then I like halfway through, you like the video. I was like, oh no, he's actually at that Cosm thing. Like that looks. I showed it to everybody.
Yeah. And they would switch it. Like the best one was like if they're in the red zone on either end or like within the 15 yards or in, they go to the end zone camera. And so you just see it from the end zone.
Wait, so this one?
Yeah.
I didn't think you were at the game.
You thought I sent a video of somebody else at the game?
I thought you like Caleb was at the game.
So you thought I just sent videos that someone sent me?
No, I mean, I do that all the time. That's called my Twitter account.
So like for like the game audio, is it like the broadcast audio or?
Yeah. So Kirk was calling it, and then so they overlay that, and then they just have the cameras, and then you have like from like the 20, I would say like from the 20 to like the 35, 40, if they're in there, they have like one kind of over the sideline. Okay. That you're like where the players are. And then if they're like in the middle, like midfield, then they have like, you go back up to that video that I just sent Grant. So it's like up in the stands. So it's pretty.
Yeah.
It looks legit, man. 100%. I almost prefer that over a game,
dude.
Because it's just
see that.
I mean, with two kids, it sounds way better.
You get chow there, yeah. They got servers that come through, and
how's the chow?
You get chow, libations, yeah, man, it's nice.
No, I'm like messed up having a baby this late in life because my oldest brother, Home Depot, second oldest brother, he's like messaged me this week. He's like, "Hey man, congrats on the baby. I got like VIP passes, sideline stuff for Gamecocks A&M. Like, you want to go?" And I'm like, dude, I can't look at my wife and tell her I'm going to go to the gym for 45 minutes. You think I'm going to tell her I'm driving to Columbia
7 hours?
For an hour and a half? Yeah. There's no way. And then I was like, man, I wish there was a Cosm thing here so I could just like feel like I was there.
It's legit. So yeah, Jeff, whenever you come down, man, we'll look at tickets to either like they do English Premier League, they do NBA, they do NFL, so they do a bunch of different sports too.
Dude,
so
that's cool.
Super cool.
But yeah, man, very cool. 100% worth it if you're either in Los Angeles or Frisco.
I got a good saved round.
Ooh.
So my mother's here, been helping out, and she's staying down the road. And so the first night, I walked her home, and I came back, and the next night I was like, let me just drive her down there, which would have been a 10-minute walk. But I just, my mom's very step conscious. And so I drove her down there and brought her back. And then tonight, same thing. I was like, hey, we're going to wash the baby. I'm a dad. I get it. You got to wash the babies. And I was like, then I'm going to set up the podcast room, and then I'm going to take a shower. I was like, and then I'm going to take you home. And then I'll be back by 9. She's like, okay, cool. So I take her down there, and then we pass where you stayed, Trey. I'm like, oh, that's where Trey stayed. My mom like loves to have a bead on all the hotels in Greenville. And, because she stays in all the different ones. And I'm like, that's Trey. She's like, oh, which one's that? I'm like, I forget. He's a big points guy, but I forget who he's loyal to. But like, it was a suite. They have 2 babies. She's like, oh yeah. So you pass your hotel, you go through the light, and then on the left, she's at the Holiday Inn Express.
Okay.
So I pull in there, drop her off. She's like, well, good luck on your podcast. Like I text you, asked how the baby is, but I know you guys go like 2 hours. And I said, yeah. And I'm going to make sure we talk about you at the end of the podcast to make sure you listened all the way. So thanks, Mom, for all the help. Well, if you made it this far,
we should have a code word to see if she listens.
Yeah.
She has to send you the code word.
Yeah. Mom, just text me. In South Carolina, we call that a hat. And then I'll know you made it this far. Yeah. Well, that's too easy because she might have gotten that.
What about the shirt name?
Lullaboo.
Yeah,
we also did that earlier. Mom, just text me bacon if you made it.
There you go.
Bacon.
Yeah, it's got to be a random thing. Yeah.
Actually, text all 3 of those different phases.
Yeah. If she texts me bacon, I can screenshot it and post it on the OK podcast.
Yeah, that she listened. I love it.
Yeah.
Number 1 fan.
All right, Trey, take us down for a landing.
Oh, forgot I still do this. What episode are we on?
I actually have to look.
That's a good question.
044, correct?
I think it's 44. Let me just double check. I don't want you to give misinformation via political text. 044.
044. My favorite MOS.
Yeah. Hey, shout out to all the fire control men or women out there. 0844s. Fire control Marines. They are the nerds. They're the people that Donnie Bowers kicks out of the Navy football game.
They're doing the homework in the sidelines.
Interpolating and looking things up in the TFT.
But you need them to raise the academic standard for the whole school.
You 100% need
So episode 44 of the
Okay.
podcast. We're getting worse. It's not that big.
Yeah, that's true.
It's all right. I'd like to thank our guest, the one and only Donnie Bowers, who's looking slim, looking good. Yeah, man. What a great guy. Good dude, as we like to say. But I'd like to thank him for taking time on here and reminiscing about the good old days. As always, like to thank our sponsor, BW Tax, keeping the lights on. Good guy, better taxes. And taxis around the corner. So hop on it. Get in line. I believe we are still powered by the Strength Co.
Last I checked with their new cast iron pans.
Verified. Ooh, new cast iron pans. Get you one of those.
You gonna make any cast iron mugs?
Oh, that'd be nice.
I would take a cast iron mugs.
Potentially, everyone gets lead poisoning. I love it. If you go to the show notes below, you should see a link, and that will take you to the Slack. Love to see you in the Slack community. If you have any lifting questions or just questions about life, you can ask them there. If you go to www.theokpodcast.com, you will see the social media links. Click that, give us a like and subscribe. If you have not found us on YouTube yet, what are you doing with your life? Get on it.
Seriously.
Follow us. We all have our each and individual social media accounts. Jeff is live streaming right now on his Twitch.
On Switch.
Are we on Switch? Twitch.
He switched to Twitch.
He switched to Twitch. Other than that, I don't know. Coach, did I miss anything?
Nah, I think it's good. www.theokpodcast.com. More importantly, join the Slack channel. Use code OK. Save $10 a month for as long as you're a member, and go Bitcoin.
No.